You're watching the buck stops here from Battleground Parliament to Battleground Gujarat, a state that many believe will define the shape and form of national politics to come in 2013. Now, the Congress has tried to challenge Narendra Modi's economic success story by raising the issue of malnutrition and quoting from some very grave statistics obtained by a report put out by the Planning Commission. It seems like a legitimate argument, but the Congress campaign goofed up big time, making a basic blunder that left it embarrassed. Let's take a look at what happened. This is the Congress advertisement that was talking about malnutrition among children in the state of Gujarat. Now, a report put out by the central government says that Gujarat is among the worst offenders and that 45% of all children under the age of 5 are actually malnourished. So seems like a strong campaign, but guess what happens then? The BJP studies this campaign and counters it by saying the Congress made a huge error. The image of the baby was not a malnourished child from Gujarat, but instead a flood victim from Sri Lanka. Now, you can only imagine how embarrassed the Congress must be because the BJP put out advertisements to highlight how the Congress got it terribly wrong. As the embarrassment mounted towards the end of the day, the Congress put out a counter ad explaining what it had wanted to raise and claiming that the flood victim from Sri Lanka was just some sort of universal symbol, saying ads are meant to give subtle references because the real picture is far more disturbing. Talking once again about the Human Development Report that says that Gujarat has among the highest number of malnutrition cases among children, putting out an image this time that is stark and disturbing, but having got it terribly wrong the first time around. All right, let's take our focus now to our special report from Gujarat. Rohit Bhan reports on the confused messaging of the Congress in Battleground Gujarat.
Narendra Modi making waves, literally. As the Gujarat Assembly elections approach, the Chief Minister has unleashed a media blitzkrieg that's unrivaled, much like the Chief Minister himself. From the traditional Rath to the latest 3D, Modi has covered it all. First, it was a Sadbhavna fast by the man who carries the burden of one of the worst communal riots that took place under his watch. Then there was the Google Hangout, moderated by Bollywood star Ajay Devgan. Next, the 24/7 Namo Gujarat channel, named imaginatively after the Chief Minister's initials, to make sure that Modi rules the airwaves in Gujarat. And then came his 3D avatar. Modi addressed rallies in 4 cities simultaneously with the help of 3D technology.
मोदी तो वानर छे वानर वानर जोड़े हमारी तुलना करी.
Compared to Modi's high-tech campaign, the Congresses still seems to be living in the past century. And when the grand old party did try to take the Chief Minister on, came this blooper. An ad on malnutrition in Gujarat, which carries a photograph from a Sri Lanka refugee camp taken by a United Nations photographer.
The Congress campaign in Gujarat has not been based on facts at all. It has been based on absolute fictitious facts and figures, and even the visual they have used, they have stolen or borrowed ones.
The embarrassed Congress now hides behind the argument that malnutrition is the real issue and not the picture.
And I think I'm happy that the Congress is raising this issue there, because normally things like malnourishment are not political issues, but they should be. In fact, they should be the issues on which we vote a government in or vote a government out. I mean, there's been some error in terms of a photograph, but I think the ad agency should be a little more careful.
तो वानर शक्ति शू केवाय एनो एमने पूरेपूरो अंदाज आ गयो.
So with the totally unimaginative opposition in the state, why does Narendra Modi need to go ballistic with his media campaign?
1055 करोड़ એટલે લગભગ 1100 કરોડ રૂપિયા.
The mainstream media has demonized him, so he has tried to create alternative forums for himself. He used Google, for instance, very effectively a few weeks ago for a sort of global chat show. He's been using video links to talk to people all over the world. And now he's honed in on this remarkable 3D, which I understand more than anything else has a certain novelty value, and so there's a sort of circus feel to the whole thing.
The problem with the Congress is that it doesn't have a charismatic leader, nor does the campaign have that crucial creative edge to take on Narendra Modi.
Gujarat Congress.
आज आप जानेंगे एक ऐसा घोटाला
The party needs to take its own TV commercial seriously.
ना कभी सुना हो। वो है गुजरात की भाजपा सरकार का प्रसिद्धि घोटाला।
They have the punchline, Disha badlo, Dasha badlo, meaning change direction, change condition.
दिशा भी बदले, दशा भी बदले।
All right, so does the Congress need to take a cue from its own ad campaign and get focused and sharper in a fight that many believe that the Congress has already lost before the election has begun? Blunders like the one we saw today will not help the Congress campaign in Gujarat. On the program today, we're asking why the Congress is getting its messaging so wrong in a state where, ironically, many argue that Narendra Modi does not even need the media. Let's introduce our panel this evening. Joining us from Ahmedabad tonight is Jai Narayan Vyas. He's, of course, the Health Minister of Gujarat and the spokesperson for the government as well. Also joining us from Delhi tonight is the President of the Gujarat Congress. Has a tough fight on his hands. We have Arjun Morvadia joining us on the buck stops here. Joining us from Kolkata today is Communication Specialist and Guru Alec Padamsi. And with me in the studio is Dilip Cherian, a brand consultant and image guru, as it were. Let me start with you, Jai Narayan Vyas. Undoubtedly, there might be some moments of gloating at this point because the Congress did make a huge error, but then they came back with a counter advertisement, and then they said that, you know, sometimes subtle references are used because the real image is too stark, and they threw that statistic back in your face saying that 45% of children under the age of 5 are malnourished in Gujarat, quoting from an official central government document. So in the end, despite the embarrassment in the Congress's campaign, do you believe that the Modi government will have to answer this on fact and not on rhetoric alone, and a rhetoric that we agree that the Congress got wrong today?
Well, Barkha, on any day I am willing to answer them, debate them on facts as far as the malnutrition issue is concerned. As you are aware, even with the GDP growing more than twice in last 50 years, India has 1/3 of the malnutrition children in the world as their stock. Now, this is not the issue which is related with the economic prosperity. There are several dimensions to it, and one needs a full 1 hour discussion on that, and therefore I am not going to try that. What I am trying to place before the viewership today and the nation is the mindset with which Congress works. I am willing to pardon them. I am willing to sort of accept the argument that they use the picture as symbolic. Fine, because they could not have got such a realistic picture in Gujarat, they had to look beyond and get the picture from outside. You know, they are accustomed to get many things imported from even outside this country. So getting one picture imported from outside the country, they are pardoned. The real issue is, Barkha, this is only half truth. The issue is that the things do not stop there. They did not stop there. They muffed the picture, removed the necklace from the neck of the mother to show that the identity is concealed, and then make the picture available for presentation, which is a doctored picture.
So
that is the real issue.
You're
it
saying,
shows the man's the criminality of the mind, showing something.
I want to understand what you're saying.
Representative.
Sir, Mr. Jai Narayan Vyas, you're saying this wasn't an innocent and stupid mistake, it was a deliberately distorted picture. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If it was a mistake, I am still willing to pardon them.
Okay.
But then they doctored the picture. That means there is some application of mind that has gone behind it, and they deliberately wanted to misguide the nation, malign Gujarat, and put up a picture of the state, tarnishing its brand as a progressive state where a lot of things were happening just to prove their point that there was malnutrition, which is a major issue, and the Gujarat was a state which was perhaps comparable with some of the most malnourished and backward countries in the world.
Well,
and
let me interrupt you there. Let me interrupt you there, sir. Let me interrupt you there and
only.
take this to Arjun Morvaria. Arjun Morvaria, there are two aspects to the debate here. One is that you may be quoting from a central government report on malnutrition, but you go and get the messaging so terribly wrong, the advertising agency gets it so terribly wrong. And second is now the allegation coming from the BJP that these were images that were distorted. Now, how can any of this kind of embarrassment help your campaign at this time?
As far as the agency is concerned, they have original photographs of the malnourished children of the Gujarat, particularly taken from the Dahod. But it was a really shocking picture. I had this picture on my hand, and the agency told us that this is a picture that, you know, gives shock to the innocent people. So they avoided it. Secondly, I accept that this is not a real picture taken from the Gujarat. It's taken downloaded from the one site. Second, you know, the facts remains is that the Gujarat is, you know, the worst malnourished children and women in the India. The figure is available over here and already available on our ad, so I am not repeating it. But the reason, you know, behind this, that the food taken by the women and the children are always lowering since last 17 years. The per capita consumption for the kilocalorie is the worst as compared to the national average.
Okay.
You know, I am just reading the one line.
Yeah.
That the further analysis of the Gujarat's data shows that in rural areas, a whopping 62% of households are below the recommended norms of 2,700 kilocalorie per day.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.